This is a reaction feedback regarding our DSL connection at home. So to start, I would like to acknowledge the software I'm using for this live stream. I would like to acknowledge the Open Broadcaster software. I'm currently using the OBS Studio version on this live stream. You can use this for free. That's right. You will not give anything or purchase anything from using this. And to move forward, I would like to share the story regarding our current DSL connection. So our DSL is Bayan Telecommunications. It was bought by Globe Telecommunications a few years ago. It just started that the transition just started a few months ago on the billing. So I have a hard time in paying the bills because it's been a few years since they last sent me a billing statement. But just right now I have received a billing statement that has a Globe logo on the envelope, and a billing statement is already Globe. So if you are a BayanDSL customer, you'll be seeing a Globe billing statement now. Because I know Globe acquired somewhere 98% stake from the original owner of Bayan Telecommunications, which is the Lopez Group of companies. Globe is now the new owner of the Bayan Telecommunications. So you'll be seeing that Bayan Telecommunications is a subsidiary or a subsidiary of Globe Telecom. So to start now, this I have a BayanDSL which is 2 megabits per second. It was previously 1 megabit per second. Last year I just upgraded my DSL to 2 megabits per second last May 18, 2016. So I have a fought for this upgrade on the lazy, I don't know if you can call the customer service of Globe that great. I If I'm rating the Globe Telecommunications customer service, they're negative. So negative that I can give them a something like that. So um, after that, I have a hard time in requesting the billing statement. So I pay late because Globe does not send me a paper bill every first week of the month. So I pay later than the due date. So what does affect or the affection or the effect of that? Um, I did just recently I asked if they can adjust because after I upgraded they charged me more than the plan of the 2 megabits per second, which is the 2 megabits today of BayanDSL is 1,299 pesos. The 1 megabit I previously have is 1,399 pesos. But the new plans of BayanDSL before the acquisition is 1,299 pesos. That's a big difference. So I did upgrade my plan or change my plan so I can save money, and of course having a higher bandwidth consumption. So to start, I have here open my speed test page, and I have here a begin test, which they provide a recommended server, and I have already set the Bayan Telecommunications server as my preferred server. And to start, I'll refresh this page again, so we will test it in a new run. So if you're talking about bits, the speed of every DSL is measured in bits. So 1 megabits per second is 1024 kilobits per second. And if you download a file from the internet, you're using a speed of kilobytes per second. So to measure kilobytes from bits, you divide bits by 8 and you get the kilobytes per second for every kilobits. If I'm right, com you can comment below if you have reactions, or use our chat if you have messages. And to start, I'll click the begin test on my preferred server so you can see the actual speed test I am getting. I am testing this on my computer, so no one other computers are using this at all. You're seeing that my ping is 8 milliseconds and my speed test is rising from 700 to 800, now getting to 900 kilobits per second. I changed the settings of speed test to kilobits per second so you can see my actual speed test. For your information, this is the first speed test on this live stream. Because I'm live streaming, my upload is lessened from my actual speed. So the estimate I'm using is roughly 512 kilobits per second. So if you less that, I'm getting, or if you add 512, I'm getting the appropriate upload speed. So I never mind about the upload speed. What matter is the download speed. So to test it again, I'll retest this again. So you're seeing that I have 930 kilobits per second speed test on download. After this, I'll do more too. So for total speed test, before we wrap up, this is the second speed test. So you're seeing my download speed is 926 kilobits per second with a latency of 10 milliseconds. So don't mind the upload speed because I'm using the upload speed for this live streaming. And now we're going to a third speed test. We're getting laggy. We're getting a 32 millisecond latency. So right now you're seeing that the download speed is goes way below the 1024 kilobits per second or 1 megabits per second, but 1 megabits per second is not my download, it's not my subscribe DSL plan. So we go ahead and go to a fourth test. So we'll do another speed test later after this fourth test, to compensate the third speed test, which gone below 900 kilobits per second. This result is the fourth speed test. So we'll do another round of speed test. you're seeing now that we got a latency of 62 milliseconds. Now in this fifth test, we got a 914 kilobits per second speed test. So to compute this, I last time I called the customer service and they told me that the committed information rate of every DSL plan should be at 60%. So is this speed test roughly 900 kilobits per second? Is this the 60% committed information rate or CIR? That's what the customer service calls it. I'll open my calculator, but you'll not see my calculator, but I'll try to speak over the microphone for the result of the 60% committed information rate. 2 megabits 2 megabits per second is 2048 kilobits per second, so we minus that with 914, which is my speed test now, and we got 1134 kilobits per second. um, 914 is 44.63%. It's way below the committed information rate of 60%. So 44.63% lacks 15.37%. That's way more, or the 44.63% lacks more co- committed information rate. It's 15% 0.37 lack. It lacks 15% more. Do you hear that? 44% is not great, is less than 60%. So 914 kilobits per second is not 60%. It's just 44%. It's really ridiculous that here in the Philippines we have this kind of problem. The government office that manages all telecommunications, including internet, does not have that enough power to control or regulate all telecommunications industry and companies to abide the rules and regulations of the country or the government. So the Philippines is way far from the ranks of those who have higher bandwidths, like in Korea, South Korea, I mean, where their speed in a province or countryside, they can reach 100 megabits per second. Yeah, I just heard that story. So it their internet is way more cheaper than ours. Internet here in the Philippines is more expensive than in South Korea or in other countries like Singapore, Malaysia, etc. The speed here is way below and the price is more expensive. So what they do, they only give you ample of amount of bandwidth to be used in your daily needs. So I have argued many times regarding this problem, but sad to say no one responds in a good manner. The customer service of Globe Telecommunications, which is the new owner of Bayan Telecommunications, is way below. You mean it? Or did you get it? The customer service of Globe is not that good. So I always complain. So later, in Saturday, there would be some technicians that will fix my telephone problems. Wherein the caller cannot hear us, or the person we're talking to cannot hear us. But that's another story. So before I end this, I'll give you another speed test so you can see the difference of the committed information rate of 60% from the actual speed test. You are now seeing that my speed test is way below 900 kilobits per second, and I have 9 millisecond as my latency. The latency of the speed test is from the speed test server and not from the actual speed, if I am correct. So we'll do another speed test after this for the final judgment. You are now seeing that my speed test for download right now is 731 kilobits per second. It's way far away from my speed, which is 2048 kilobits per second or 2 megabits per second. The upload speed is 397, which is just okay because 512 kilobits per second is being used right now in this live stream. We are doing another round of speed test. We are getting 8 milliseconds as our latency from the speed test server. To check the time, our time now is 9 hour, or I mean 9:34 in the evening, September 23, 2016. The time is Philippine Standard Time. You're seeing that my speed is 935 kilobits per second. After this live stream, you can comment down below. So to wrap up, really wrap up, the speed for BayanDSL when they are not yet acquired by Globe is the speed is really okay and good. But after the Globe, acquisition of BayanDSL to Globe, the speed suffers, and I don't know if they're gonna fix it because Globe has plans for BayanDSL because Globe bought Bayan Telecommunications to pay all debts of the Lopez group of companies, because who knows, Bayan Telecommunications have many debts, so the Lopez group of companies try to sell 98% stake of Bayan Telecommunications to Globe in order to pay all creditors or investors from the said telecommunications company. So if you're gonna go to Globe, their customer service is not good. Do I see going to another telecommunications company to get another DSL service or to change DSL service? I don't think so because we have an existing telephone line, so we cannot change telephone lines due to some of our friends knows already what do you mean that they got in their mind the telephone number of our telephone. So if we add another telephone for the DSL, solely for the DSL, I'll need to add another telephone line going to my room because the DSL is lined on my room, so we have no more rooms for additional lines. So I have no plans to change to another telephone company. So I just complain every day for this to be fixed by Globe. So hope you have been educated. If you have more questions, comment below. Thanks for watching.